Welcome to The Interest. I'm Ryan Kingsley. Today we're joined by LaDonna Lockard in her new segment, Maximum Conversations in Minimal Time. After that, our own Vincent Valvo leads us in a poetic moment. Then stay tuned for Mortgage Meteorology with Sarah Wolak. But first, a fun story for this Thursday morning. We surveyed loan originators on what their favorite cocktails are when they close a deal, and what their favorite cocktails are when they lose one. Deals are harder to come by in this persistently down market, but they're still getting done, which means there's still reason to celebrate the locks. And yes, still reason to mourn the borrowers who walk. The answers to our survey were funny and surprising. Take Emily Wilson, president of Heritage Financial in Ojai, California, who enjoys a glass of red wine just as much as she does the taste of Irish whiskey. Jameson is just upfront and honest, like all good mortgage brokers should be, Wilson told us. Frank Odino, president of Fidelity Capital in Larchmont, New York, prefers bourbon, Kentucky's Basil Hayden, to be precise. Then there's Samantha Rizzo, an MLO at SmartLink Financial in Utah, who enjoys a closing with a dessert rather than a drink. Everyone likes to celebrate with little indulgences, and for me, that happens to be sweets, Rizzo says. To find out what other LOs are sipping or snacking on, visit nationalmortgageprofessional.com. For The Interest, I'm Ryan Kingsley.
We all dream of owning a home, but for too long, if you didn't fit the mold, you were stuck. Stuck because the system worked for everyone except you. We've changed that. Angel AI uses advanced AI technology to give a 100% trusted solution and fast answers for worry-free financing, allowing you to achieve fair and equal access to lending. Angel AI. AI you can bank on.
For The Interest, I'm LaDonna Lockard. Today I am here with Dr. Bruce. Dr. Bruce, you travel the nation doing conferences, speaking engagements, etc. You are probably my favorite coach out there. Should I say probably, or should I just say my favorite coach out there? Sorry to the others. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to know, how did you get started in this industry? We're both kind of in a niche little avenue of it.
Well, listen, I am more than happy for you to say I am your favorite coach. I certainly would not turn that down. And you're one of my favorite people as well. So now that we've gotten the pleasantries out of the way, I appreciate the opportunity. Yeah. So basically over a decade ago, I was working on my PhD in human performance at Middle Tennessee State University here just outside of Nashville. And during that time, I met a mentor who was speaking and coaching primarily in housing, banking, and finance. And so that opened up a lot of doors for me. And I basically just wanted to be a mini me version of him. So I was following him around, writing his press releases, selling his books and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually I started developing my own content, writing my own books. And so here we are.
So cool. Why do you think now, at a time where so many people are trying to find ways to kind of cut back on their expenditures, the market's been iffy for a couple of years, why do you think now is the time to invest in a professional coach?
Well, I believe everybody needs a coach in life in general, period, regardless of the challenging markets and things like that. But obviously, when you're going through challenging times, painful times, you need somebody to help you protect your confidence, right? Confidence is the one thing that affects everything. I love athletics, as you know, LaDonna. You know, when we have confidence in sports, we have that momentum going. We think we're unstoppable. When we lose that confidence, when we lose that momentum, we're like, oh my gosh, where's our next deal coming from, right? Am I ever going to get a win ever again, right? So the reality is we all fall somewhere in the middle there, but a coach helps you build, maintain, and protect your confidence to really go out there and not just survive, but right, thrive. I know it's overused, but the reality is in these challenging markets, tough times don't last, tough people do. And I am a true believer in that when it comes to your grit and your resilience. But that's what a great coach does, is it helps you really build, maintain, and protect that confidence.
Oh, I love that. And if there's something that I know about you and your coaching style, you are a creature of habit. You love establishing a strong set of habits. What would you say are your top 3 habits for creating a really effective protocol?
So you say I'm a habitual person, and maybe I am, but the reality is, like most entrepreneurs, most salespeople, I'm kind of monkey. I'm like all over the place, right? Jumping from branch to branch, idea to idea. So that's why I need habits. Is the main thing is to keep the main thing, right? So I really do buy into this concept of essentialism. And so when you're talking about habits, it really is like, what are the daily non-negotiables that I should be doing? And what I am a big believer is, and I know it's like the morning routine, LaDonna, a lot of this stuff, it's like not brand new stuff, but common sense is not always common practice, right? And so I am a huge believer in my mornings. I need to get as much positive things done as I possibly can in my mornings. I teach and live by a concept called the 4-hour work day. Some of you have probably heard of the 4-hour work week by Timothy Ferriss. That probably does not exist for us, right? But the 4-hour work day really can. And so I really just look at personal development time, professional development time, my marketing development time, and then my operations time. And I really do believe that if I can really dominate that morning 4-hour workday, be proactive by noon every single day, then good things will happen for me. And then the same thing at night, right? So I have my morning routine, and then I have my nightly routine that really helps me unwind and get my mind ready for what my body's about to do the next day. So I don't know if I gave you 3 there or not. I just gave you a lot.
Yeah, no, that was great. I'll take it. That's good enough for me. Well, Bruce, I appreciate you being here as always. I hope people find you, seek you out, get to see you in person, because you really are such a dynamic speaker and just a force in this industry. So thank you so much for being here. For the interest, I'm LaDonna Lockard.
In the world of loans, where rates do roam, there's a tale of woe, a mortgage originator's tome. They all sit at their desks with a sigh and a frown, for the interest rates just won't come down. They watch the market with hopeful eyes, but the numbers keep climbing to the skies. They beg and they plead with a desperate plea, but the rates remain high as can be. They try to explain to each hopeful buyer that the rates are like a kite caught in a wire. No matter how hard they tug and they pry, those rates won't budge. They're up there so high. They dream of a day when rates take a dive, and they'll close loans with glee, feeling alive. But until that day comes, they'll keep up the grind, praying for rates to be gentle and kind. So here's to the mortgage originators brave, facing the challenge with each rate they crave. May your clients be patient, your lenders be sound, and may those interest rates finally come down.
Welcome back to this week's Mortgage Meteorology, where we'll touch on all things to do with the overall climate of the housing market, not just in our neighborhood, but yours too. This week is all about California dreaming. And by dreaming, I mean wistfully thinking about being able to afford a home. A recent Realtor.com report says that for California buyers in metros like Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Jose, the household income required to purchase the median-priced home is like facing a relentless downpour compared to the national average. For context, the average income required nationally is $116,000. But in the Golden State, prices are nearly double that figure. San Jose led the charge with a scorching household income of over $360,000 needed to buy a home. But let's step away from the heat and look at the more affordable areas on the map that are less stormy and taking atmospheric pressure off of homebuyers' budgets. Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Cleveland were 3 of the 16 metro areas that required a household income of less than $100,000. Meanwhile, Redfin has the latest on home price activity. As of last week, the median home sale price either rose or remained steady from a year earlier across all 50 of the most populous U.S. metros. That's the first time this has happened since July of 2022. Nationwide, the median sale price warmed up almost 5% year over year to over $380,000. Let's look at the home price radar to see where prices got pretty balmy. In Anaheim, California, we saw a 20% year-over-year increase, followed by Detroit and San Jose. Thanks for tuning in. I'll meet you back here next week with their updated housing market barometer.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.